Well, hello to everybody here. It's Teresa Sanderson. Very excited to connect with you as always. This week is a very special week because right smack dab in the middle of it is May 1st. Why is that a big deal? That's a big deal because um, that starts Nurses Month, National Nurses Month. And so today we're going to be talking about 10 ways that nursing impacts the world. All right. And so if you know me, most of you know that I'm a registered nurse. I've been working as a nurse for more than 30 years. Yes, I am old. I'm very old. But the thing is, I believe as nurses that many times we don't even really realize all of the many ways that nurses serve our communities and the world and the many different ways that we impact things. So this is in no way about tooting my own horn. What this is about, though, is celebrating the many ways that nurses in our profession serve the world and impact their communities. So here we go. Here's one. Number one, they provide compassionate care for terminally ill patients, and not only patients but also their families, right? So this is the specialty of hospice care, and certainly near and dear to my heart. I think all of you know I have a hospice as part of my background and experience, but this is one of the wonderful ways that nurses impact the world, is by helping patients and families get through probably what is one of the most difficult and challenging and emotional experiences of their lives, losing a loved one. Number two, nurses take to the skies in helicopter and airplane transports to care for injured patients. Many times we might be outside, you, I, anybody, and we'll see the life flight helicopters go up, right? Nurses are involved in that. Nurses who have a very unique drive are involved in that kind of nursing that involves very urgent, emergent care of an injured patient and transporting them to a place that they can be cared for at the highest level. Okay, this is a vitally important piece of nursing. So hats off to you if you're serving in that field, and hats off to those of you who are serving in hospice. Okay, nurses also bring quality nursing care to prison and jail populations, right? Anybody familiar with correctional care? Anybody working in the correctional care space? This is, I think, one of the most unique ways that nurses can serve, and requires us to show that we can be non-judgmental in providing the care that a patient needs, right? So serving, for those of you who serve in correctional care, whether you're working in a prison or a jail population, definitely I want to applaud you for serving in that space, and also for being willing to work in a space that many nurses would not choose to work in. Okay, many nurses, many lay people, right? Thank you for all you do. Nurses also deliver life into the world as nurse midwives. This is number 4. So, midwifery is a thing, and nurses are doing this all the time. So thank you for being a part of new life and helping families move into that space. Number 5, nurses also serve their country by serving in the Army, the Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, and the recently added Space Force. So hats off to those of you. I mean, these nurses hold a very special space in my heart. I have always had a very, a very broad space in my heart for any of our military veterans, right? Because I recognize that I could not do what I do every day, which is work that I love to do here in the United States, were it not for our military people who provide me a safe environment in which to do that. Okay. So first of all, thank you to all of our veterans. Now for you nurses who are also veterans, holy smokes, you rock. Thank you for all that you do to serve our military forces in that very unique way. Nurses also, number 6, plan and present community health screenings. Oh my goodness, vitally important. This is reaching the community where they are. How many times have you popped, maybe stopped by a store somewhere or a health fair, and you were able to get a complimentary blood pressure screen, maybe get your blood sugar checked, your blood cholesterol, maybe a bone density test. All kinds of screenings like this are coordinated by nurses who are working to reach and impact the health and well-being of their communities. So love, love, love all of our community nurses. Thank you for what you do. Number 7, help break the cycle. Nurses help break the cycle of abuse, substance abuse for people experiencing addiction. Another beautiful way to serve our communities is helping people back away from substance abuse and other addiction problems. So thank you for this kind of compassionate and, again, non-judgmental care. Thank you for doing what you do to help guide people from that and to motivate them to seek more for their own lives. Number 8, nurses offer and provide care and treatment without judgment. I've said this a few times, but I think it's vitally important to recognize that is a piece of a nurse's calling, to serve you, no matter which beliefs may disagree with his or her own, but to serve you at the highest level and get you the care and treatment that you need. So thank you, nurses everywhere, for doing that. Number 9, nurses teach and support those with chronic conditions like diabetes and many others so that they can better manage their health and have a better quality of life. Love, love, love that. For those of you working in case management, chronic care management, all of these things, thank you for what you're doing to improve the health of these unique populations of people. Number 10, we're actually going to go over. I've actually got 13. I know we said we were going to do 10, but I've got 13. Number 10, by being willing to serve. Thank you, nurses, for being willing to serve patients in need, regardless of the threat to yourself. We've seen this a lot recently in the days of COVID. Now we see it in different ways occurring in facilities and organizations and things like that. So nurses, just for, getting up, suiting up, getting out to your unit and working when we don't always know what to expect. Thank you. Thank you for being willing to do that. All right, so here are 3 that are very near and dear to my heart, and we're going to go above and beyond, right? We're going to go into number 11 here. Thank you, nurses. Nurses impact the world, okay, by working on Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year's, and all other holidays to care for you and your loved ones, right? Thank you, nurses, for being willing to do that. Thank you for keeping our facilities open and ensuring that care is available from the emergency department to the ICU, to the NICU, to labor and delivery, whatever it is. Thank you for working in that way. Number 12, nurses impact the world by giving up time with their families to work an extra shift or 2 or 3, again, to ensure that the care is needed for you and your loved ones when you come through those facility doors. Thank you, nurses, for being willing to do that. Nurses impact the world. Here's number 13, by continuing to do the work of a nurse even when conditions are not perfect. Even when conditions are not perfect. And let's just think about this. 3 unique things came to my mind. Number 1, during COVID, when the pandemic initially started and there was no personal protective equipment, nurses were covering themselves in garbage bags and just doing whatever needed to be done, right? Regardless of the threat to themselves, they saw a patient who was grossly ill and needed their help and support. Not many people, not everybody would be willing to do that, but thank you, nurses, for showing up and impacting the world in that way. The next way that nurses impact the world on this section is by being willing to work even in spite of workplace violence. Again, nurses' work environments and conditions are not perfect. They're far from it. And nurses risk danger to themselves many times when they go to work. So thank you, nurses, for impacting the world in this way by continuing to show up and doing what you can to advocate for safe practice spaces, safe work environments. Love you and appreciate you. And nurses impact the world when they go to work and things are less than perfect and they are short-staffed. They show up. They show up anyway and often feel overworked and underappreciated. I want to thank you, nurses, for continuing to impact the world even when things are less than perfect. All right. I know I'm not the only one who sees these things, but it's time we start looking at what nurses do and how they impact the world in these many, many ways. And so For Nurses Month 2024, I am so excited that we are launching the very first Nurses Feed Their Young educational buffet, where every nurse is going to have access to 30 complimentary nursing continuing education credit courses so that they can increase their knowledge base, hopefully feel appreciated, cared for, and valued. It's something small. It's something small that we can do as nurses feed their young, but we are super excited to do this for you. And we want to support nurses in the United States and around the world with high quality nursing continuing education. So I want to encourage you, click the link below this video, go ahead and get yourself signed up. I believe the wait list is out there. The registration is going live very, very soon, but you want to be on the wait list so that you can register. And please share this video with your friends, share it to your networks, and let's show the world and everyone how nurses impact the world every single day. And if you're a nurse watching this video, know that I see you, I value you, and I support you. Thank you for all the things that you do in Nurses Month, in Nurses Week, and every single day of the year. God bless you all. Bye for now.